Over 200 experts have shared their secrets to a successful business. Join me, Rose Davidson, as I discover how these experts took their businesses to the next level.
Talking with the experts.
Welcome to Talking with the Experts. Talking about all things business by business owners for business owners. Episode 262 with Sabrina Osso.
It's preventative versus waiting for an episode of violence to occur, because at that point, Rose, it's almost too late to do something. This is all on the preventative side, and we say with the policy, look, tenants or residents, you're not going to act like a beast, like a barbarian, like a savage in your own home. There are consequences, and those consequences are that you get evicted. It's expulsion, and you do not get to return, and you have no access to your family, especially and your children at that residence. So that's the policy. The seminar gets everyone educated on facts, statistics, warning signs, definitions of abuse, the difference between abuse and discipline, just to name a few items. So that way there's no, oh, I didn't know if I pulled her hair, that constitutes abuse. Now you know.
Talking with the experts.
Hello, and welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosesdavidson.com. Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners. You can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. And talking about YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ding on that bell so you get notified when new videos are uploaded. I hope you enjoy today's episode. Is your workplace safe? Indeed, is your home safe? Well, I have an expert here today from the United States. Her name is Sabrina Osso. And Sabrina is the founder and CEO of Osso Safe. And if you feel safe where you live, work and play, then, life is great. She's a TEDx speaker, real estate agent and consultant on promoting safety and preventing violence in the workplace, in schools and in places of residence. Now, I have to say that Sabrina is one of my return guests because I enjoyed speaking with her so much last time that we thought that we'd revisit this topic because it's something that's, I guess, more prevalent than it was when we spoke last. Welcome, Sabrina, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Rose. It's a pleasure to be here with you again, for sure.
Yeah, so, since the pandemic has hit, I know that the statistics for domestic violence have skyrocketed to unbelievable proportions. And you want to share some statistics with us today about, what's happening in the world of safety.
Sure. 1 out of 3 women will be beaten or raped in her lifetime. 1 out of 3 young people will be in an abusive relationship. 1 out of 7 men is abused. There are about 15 million children that witness violence in their own homes each and every year. And that's just, those are just the ones that are documented and just the ones in the United States. There are 2 million incidents of workplace violence that occurs. That comes out to be about 33,000 per week. And of those, 17 result in a murder. I could go on and on with statistics. In the United States, about 324,000 pregnant women go into the emergency room, not for pregnant related issues, but for abuse related injuries. Just something really pertinent to Australia. Let me see. Family, domestic and sexual violence in Australia is, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men with a disability experienced emotional abuse from a partner. This was a statistic from 2019, but that's pretty recent considering one woman is killed every 9 days, and one man is killed every 29 days by a partner. This is also Australia. So I find
the statistics are staggering, and and we spoke before about it, and let's revisit that topic about the relationship between workplace violence and home violence. How do they link together?
Yes, well, the way we see it at Osso Safe is that however you are in public reflects how you are in private. So if in private you are violent, abusive, chaotic, dysfunctional, well, in the workplace, in schools, universities, at a concert, at an outing, you would be similar. So if you're not violent at home, if you're not abusive at home, then it will carry over into public places. So our argument, if you will, is that the concentration has to be where we make people safe at home, we make them educated, or not, that's the wrong phrase, we educate them at home, so that way it carries over into the workplace. A big factor is sexual harassment, right? It happens in the workplace. I believe the statistic is that 1 out of 3 women experience sexual harassment in the workplace. And I think it's 1 out of every 5 men, 1 out of 7 around there experience sexual harassment in the workplace. So the people doing the harassing, well, at home, they're looking at pornography. They are abusive at home. If they're single, they carry this over on their dates. So the concentration should be make home safe, so that way our workplaces will be safe. They are definitely intertwined, and I want to speak about how pornography plays a big part in this, because in the States, we are the biggest producer and consumer of pornography in the world. So this falls in line with sex trafficking, child rape, child pornography, and there is an element of pornography that seeps into the workplace. And a lot of it is subdued. A lot of it is like, especially with superiors, right? And those superiors, a lot of them are male. But that's not to say that women cannot be abusive in the workplace. But pornography is a big driver of violence. I've said this multiple times, and I'll keep saying it until things change. There is no place for pornography, and it's not about sexual freedom at all. Pornography is the opposite of sexual freedom. So I hope I answered the question and I gave pertinent information regarding the topic, relating homes with the workplace.
Oh, absolutely. What about though the people that out in public in the workplace or whatever, butter wouldn't melt in their mouth, so to speak, but at home they're like total narcissists and sociopaths. How does that relate?
Well, at home, you're saying like at home they behave one way, and then in the workplace maybe they have this persona that they're very innocent, or they're very well behaved,
yeah.
And then at home they are monsters, right? Just so
Yeah.
I understand the question.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we say, especially in residency, abusers will only have their poker face for a short period of time. Really, they could have this persona that they're an upstanding citizen, that that they're good people. No, I'm not violent, I'm not abusive, but that only lasts, that poker face, if you will, maybe a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, but rest assured that those violent, abusive, chaotic, dysfunctional behaviors, they are out in the open for sure. And in fact, they love an audience.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
love,
Yes.
right? They love an audience. In fact, especially if that audience is children, like their own children, they want to the monster persona. You're going to do what I say, and nothing is going to stop me, and what I say goes. And that carries over in the workplace. Rest assured, it doesn't take a lot for that fire to be lit, if you will. So there's a grace period, but I assure you, even in my own family, in my own household, with my father beating my mother and my mother abusing me, my father, to the public, it seemed like he was, oh no, what do you mean he acts that way and he's violent? And but in public, he would cause scenes, very humiliating scenes, on a regular basis at the mall, in airports, on airplanes, with family. So it doesn't take much, you know. So my point is, at Osso Safe, it's proof.
Have you been thinking about starting a podcast? You can share your knowledge and expertise with people globally. Create original content that is completely unique from anything else out in today's market, not just in terms of style, but also perspective. And when we talk about revenue generating potential, well, let me tell you, it doesn't stop there. The time to start is now. You know that you should be doing it. However, many people are reluctant because they don't know how to produce it or what tools they need to do their podcast. Please feel free to email me at guest@talkingwiththeexperts.com today, and let's talk about how I can help you to build authority and credibility for your business through podcasting. Remember, don't wait for the opportunity, create it.
It's proof. Like, there it is. There's the monster. He's out, or she's out, you know. Again, it's very important to make that link between homes and the workplace, and with sexual harassment. And I have to say, with bosses, with superiors that are sexually harassing at in the workplace, those are your rapists. I have to say, like, those are your sex offenders and your traffickers, if you will. And we say, if you are violent, abusive, chaotic, dysfunctional in public, imagine how you are in private, you know. So I hope I answered the question.
Oh, absolutely. You use your real estate business or industry to help people stay safe in the home. How do you do that?
Yes, well, we have been doing so many podcasts and interviews, and to really get the word out that we exist, and that we're offering these products and services to landlords, property owners, property managers, tenants. But we want this to propagate over all residencies. So I'm using my real estate agent status to get the word out, to say, look, get your property Osso Safe certified. And that entails purchasing the Osso Safe Home Sweet Home package. It consists of a policy, a seminar, an app, and therapists assigned to the property. So basically, it's preventative versus waiting for an episode of violence to occur, because at that point, Rose, it's almost too late to do something. This is all on the preventative side. And we say, with the policy, look, tenants or residents, You're not going to act like a beast, like a barbarian, like a savage in your own home. There are consequences, and those consequences are that you get evicted. It's expulsion, and you do not get to return, and you have no access to your family, especially and your children at that residence. So that's the policy. The seminar gets everyone educated on facts, statistics, warning signs, definitions of abuse, the difference between abuse and discipline, just to name a few items. So that way there's no, oh, I didn't know if I pulled her hair, that constitutes abuse. Now you know. Then there is the app, and this is being updated right now, but it will detect violent-like movements and captures them in real time, issuing alerts to the landlord or to the property owner. And then there are therapists assigned to the property. So that's the fourth component. So there's no more, oh, I don't know where to find a therapist. I don't need a therapist. Everything is fine. No, it's now a part of your residency. It's part of being in an Osso Safe certified property, because you're held to a higher regard, a higher standard in an Osso Safe certified property, because you never know when you need a therapist, when you need to talk things out, when you need to work things out with your family. Let's say your child comes home with bad grades, or your child comes home and says, I'm pregnant, or there's a shooting at school, or threats of a shooting. Well, you have a therapist to help through these very sensitive times. And so and you're not going to beat your child, you're not going to verbally disparage anyone in your household. So this is all on the preventative side, and this is a practice, Rose. It's not one and done. This is an ongoing practice to practice safety, practice positivity, empowerment, encouragement, freedom of choice, and probably the most important component is respect.
Yes.
We have to practice being respectful of one another in our household as well as out in public. So, and this encourages breaking the cycle, because when you grow up with abuse, it's easy to fall into that trap and repeat those same mistakes. But in an Osso Safe certified property, repeating the same mistakes is greatly diminished. Those chances are greatly diminished because you're practicing safety, you're practicing respect, you're practicing empowerment, positivity, encouragement. So and I'm using my real estate agent status to move the real estate industry in this direction, if you will.
Yeah, it's something that should be internationally available to all real estate agents and landlords and property owners, to stem the abuse that is happening within their properties.
Yes, thank you for saying that. Mm-hmm.
It's a bit more difficult when it's a private residence, because they,
yes, I know.
I'm trying to say that in a private residence, it's a bit more difficult to get the the app and the programs and the seminars and whatever going, because it's up to the homeowner to take the steps to keep his family or her family safe. If they don't choose to do that, then what options are there?
Well, we're making safety a required standard condition of residency. So we are speaking to insurance representatives to say, look, let's get this as an incentive for all property owners and property managers, where they want their properties Osso Safe certified. And what we're looking to do is actually, look, you act like a beast, like a barbarian, like a savage in your property, whether you rent, whether you own, whether you have a mortgage or not. You get dropped from the lease, you get dropped from your title to your property, and you get evicted, even if you own your home. But we have the app, and this is going to be connected to let's say an insurance company, a third party, if you will. So this makes everybody responsible. So with an insurance company, we say, okay, wow, we just saw you beat the crap out of her, or you just beat the crap out of him, you just abuse your child. You lose rights to your property. You get dropped from the lease, you get dropped from title. So I know this is very avant-garde, very progressive, but the way we see it, you shouldn't have rights to your residence if you're going to act abusively, violently.
I
So
agree. I totally agree with that.
right. You should be homeless, quite frankly. You belong nowhere. Either change your ways, get help, and this is where the therapy comes in, right? Because this is now a required standard condition of residency. What's the point of living in any residence if you're going to act like a monster? And this affects everybody in residency. This affects even your next door neighbors, your neighbors across the street. So we're making this part of your contract, if you will, whether you rent, whether you own, whether you have a mortgage or not. So this is the vision that we have for residency in terms of bridging the two, Osso Safe and residency, period.
Yeah, as I said before, it's something that's required. It should be mandatory internationally, not just in the US. But I'm sure
that's
I'm sure you're
intention.
working on that, and it will come.
Yep.
It will come in time. Sabrina, where can people find you if they want more information or they want to work with you?
Yes, our website is ossosafe.com. My direct email is sabrina@ossosafe.com. I am on all the major social media platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. And I want to mention, I started a YouTube channel, if you will, Osso Safe Kids. And this is for any child, whether they're abused or not. So if they live in a safe home or not in a safe home, I speak to them directly, giving them advice. It's something that I wish I had growing up. So that way we can talk about it, and it's a safe way for them to disclose what's happening in their home and to say, look, I want to be with my aunt, uncle, grandparent, close family friend. We're making it easier for them to disclose what's happening, and that they should be able to go to a safe member that they know if both parents are abusive. So I've called it Osso Safe Kids. And like I said, I'm speaking to them directly. So this is a good outlet for them, and a way to disclose what's happening and to have agency over their lives. So yeah, I hope I answered the question as far as how we can be found.
Perfectly. Sabrina, have you got something that you'd like to share? A little tip of a little bit of wisdom, a quote or something?
Yes. All of us have the right to be in a safe home. You deserve to be in a good relationship, in a healthy relationship, and that should be only consist of safety, of respect, of positivity, empowerment, encouragement. And this is a practice. So everyone, let's practice being Osso Safe.
Absolutely. Let's practice a bit of kindness.
Yes.
And compassion.
Yes. Right.
Sabrina, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you again about this very sensitive but topical subject, because we have two young ladies here in Australia that advocates for child sexual abuse, incest, and rape. One of the young ladies was actually raped in our National Parliament House, and the government denied the thing at the time. And the other lady was she was Australian of the Year last year, and she was abused by her teacher for a number of years. So they're both two young ladies that I totally admire for standing up and getting the word out there that it's just not right to abuse another person. Doesn't matter who you are in the world.
That's right. Oh, 100%, 100%. Thank you for sharing that. We have to do better. We must do better. And these perpetrators cannot get away with what they have been getting away with. The punishments need to be much more severe.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree.
Think about it. When they don't even think about it, let alone do it. I mean, just even thinking about it should deter them. And it's what Osso Safe is all about. Like, yeah, you'll be homeless and you'll have no access to anyone in this household. Get out, and you're going to stay out.
Yes, I wish I wish there was stuff like that when I was a kid. Honestly, as a survivor of incest for a number of years, I can totally relate to the heartache that abuse causes as a child, and as you grow up, because it stays with you forever.
Yes,
it doesn't matter.
Yes,
it doesn't matter how much therapy you have.
It's healing. It's a process, and yes, the wounds are there. Definitely, the wounds are there. They don't go away, but we can minimize the wounds and turn pain into power, for sure, which is what you're doing every day.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Sabrina, thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to catching up with you again next year.
Yes, likewise, Rose. Thank you.
Talking with the experts.